Our class from yesterday, we're speaking about Parashat Balak. Of course, all the curses that became blessings. First, I want to dedicate this class. This week, one of our dear friends' father's yard site, Adon Gavriel Baruch Hu. It's 40 years to his yard site on Thursday. Be'ezat Hashem, his neshama heaven aliyah. Refuah shlema to Aharon ben Masuda, Henry Be'ezat Hashem, and Narefanalo, and Narefanalo. And to all our hostages, Be'ezat Hashem, Hashem will bring them back, and to all our wounded, Hashem would heal them and the sick. Amen. You know, Amen. Many of us looking at this current situation, we say, wow, how can we come out of this? Right? You have hostages, you have war here in the south, in Gaza, you have war in the north with Hezbollah, right? But you know, in the history of Israel, many nations that went against Israel were completely diminished in one day. For an example, if you take Sancheriv, the whole Sancheriv military had billions of soldiers. It just came to Yerushalayim with 21 million soldiers. It was done in one day. Nebuchadnezzar was done in one day. You know, Bavel, imagine, is there like 10 times more than America. Bavel ruled the whole world. At the time, there was 127 nations, like mentioned in Parasu Madai, in Megillat Esther. You know, Hashverosh actually took it from Bavel. So everything is possible. Never ever lose hope. The Gemara says, even if you have a sword on your neck, don't ever lose hope.
In our own lifetime, the 6-day war is
That's right. You know why we had to have only 6-day war? Ezer Weizmann, his mother says, you better be here for Shabbat. His mother. All right, so we continue with the second part of Parashat Balak. And also, Be'ezat Hashem, dedicate the class, the Mazal Tov to Shalom Livatin, Be'ezat Hashem from Mansi, Mazal Tov for his engagement. So it says in chapter 25 in Parashat Balak, Vayeshev Israel Bashitim, Vayachel el A'am liznot et benot Moab. And the people of Israel, sitting in a place called Shittim. Okay, Shittim is what we know today, right opposite of Jericho, is Arvot Moab, is the plain of Moab. Today is Jordan, basically. And they're sitting there in the Shittim, a place that's called Shittim. Shittim comes from the word shtut, stupidity.
Like the wood is Shittim.
Yeah, yes, there is a wood Shittim, but there is also a place called Shittim. The question is asked, how they were not able to curse the people of Israel. Right, Bilam and Balak, two big magicians. One of them is bigger. Bilam as far as power of Tuma. By the way, the sons of Bilam will be Eunice and Umbrius, two kids that will build the golden calf. They're the one that did it. They were the most unbelievable young kids that could do magic just like their father. Eunice and Umbrius will do the golden calf with Aharon that will just throw it into the fire and will become a golden calf that speaks. So, you know, the Gemara says something amazing. It's mentioned that now that they cannot curse them because the people of Israel were so united, this is just a few months before they come to the land of Israel. All the generation will pass by Tisha B'Av, 40 years, everybody died. The generation of the Meraglim, the spies. And now they are about to come into the land of Israel. And they have the Mishkan, they have the Torah, they have Slicha from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They have everything ready to come. So they were so united that the curse bounced off of them. When we are with Hashem, nobody can do anything for us. You know, there was a word, one of the names of Hashem is Shaddai. Right? Shaddai is also Shomer Daltot Israel. But Shaddai has Shin Dalet Yud. By the way, in numerical code is a very amazing secret. It's 314. It's the power of pi, right? How do you measure everything? 3.14 pi, right? You can measure anything in the world. Shaddai, 314. And Shaddai, if you take the Yud from Shaddai, you take a Shem from it out, you remain with Shed. Shedim, right? Shed is actually, they were created on Monday. The Zohar Kadosh says because there was a machloket on Monday, there's no kitov. Today, Tuesday, we have twice kitov. Because the one day on creation, there was no kitov. There was such machloket that even bad angel were created on Monday. And Gehenom. By the way, don't do any business on Monday. If you ever have a business on Monday, push it to Tuesday. Never start a business or a good deal or any, עסקה, בעזרת השם, יום שלישי הכי טוב. It's Tuesday has twice as good. It's a good day to start business. So the Gemara says that because they could not curse them, Bilam, by the way, was about to be killed. Balak wanted to kill him. He said, I paid you all this money. We did all this sacrifice. We did 42 korbanot. What's going on here? You curse everybody in the past. The word Bilam is Beliam. He had no nation. Bilam would travel and curse people. I mean, in order to go to war is very expensive, right? To move so many people to one place to another, to feed them machinery, everything it's very expensive proposal. They would go to Bilam, you just curse them, and they won. And he says, just give me a third of the money you're about to spend on the war. But in a sense, Balak was so upset, he wanted to kill Bilam. So Bilam went to a place called Harei HaChoshech, the dark mountain. You heard of the Harei HaChoshech? So the first time it's mentioned in the book of Bereshit, there were angels that were saying to Hashem, what is wrong with the generation of Adam? What is this craziness of sexual, innuendos and bestiality and everything that Hashem wanted to completely wipe the generation of Adam, right? With the Mabul, the flood. So Hashem says, you don't know. So they said, can we go down? Two angels named Azza and Azazel. Azael, Azza and Azael, the Nephilim. They were the two angels that fell into earth, came to see what it's all about, and they sinned with the daughters of the land. And they had children. They had 10 giants, 10 children. And Azza and Azael, Bilam goes to them. And he said, how can we defeat the people of Israel? And the angel said to him, listen, we failed by one thing, sex. The people of Israel, Hashem hates zima. There's one thing Hashem hates more than anything else. It's called zima. Zima is, God forbid, sexual misconduct. So they gave him an advice to Bilam, says, listen, bring all the daughters of Moab and the daughters of Midian and let them seduce the people of Israel.
No, that's one of the 7 Noah.
That's right. It says that's right. Azza and Azael were so bad that Hashem actually changed something from creation. There was a guy named Hanoch. You heard of Hanoch? Hanoch lived 365 years. He was a tzaddik. And all of a sudden the Torah says that Hanoch enenu. He was taken. He's not dead. In every person in the Bereshit, they say how long he lived and when he died. Except one, Hanoch. Hanoch basically became Matatron, became the angel in charge in heaven of all the angels. And he actually stopped the whole atrocity of Azza and Azael. And he put them in the mountain, the dark mountain. Until today they're there. Nobody knows what it is. So they give an advice to Bilam. They said, listen, you cannot curse him, seduce them. So the daughters of Moab and Midian, by the way, they used to known to be the most pretty girls on earth. The Moabite and the Midianite, and we'll see next parasha with the Pinchas, right? The princess that come to seduce Moshe originally.
Your favorite character, Yankel?
Yeah, Cosby, one very, very pretty princess. She was the daughter of Balak, by the way. But in this time now they come, and those beautiful girls start seducing the people of Israel. And they give them the water of the Shittim. The Zohar Kadosh says there was just like there was the well of Miriam that tastes like anything. We mentioned before, by the way, the well of Miriam was a rock. Right? You heard of the Rolling Stone? Yeah. That's the well of Miriam. The rock that went with them for 40 years. Joshua brought it in and put it in the Kinneret, by the way. And until there today, many tzaddikim... Huh?
In the Sea of Galilee.
Yeah, in the Kinneret, right where Rabbi Akiva is buried, Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes, right across from it. All the tzaddikim, the Tanaim, are buried there in Amorites. Because they used to go drink from the Kinneret and have such wisdom. And now, the well of Miriam, you can, whatever you wanted to taste, it tastes like. Just like the man, when the food, the water of Miriam. So the Shittim had a well just like that, but for Tumah, anything that you want for alcohol. And the people of Israel drank from it. And they were able to be seduced, and 24,000 of them died. You know, there is one fruit in the whole world that you step on it and at the end it steps on you. Grapes, right? Right, in order to make yain, you have to pound the wine, step on it, and you drink lechaim, it steps on you. It happened to Adam, it happened to Noach, it happened to Nadav and Avihu. By the way, Nadav and Avihu were reincarnation of Adam and Noach. They came to do the tikkun of the wine. They were so powerful in knowledge that the Torah compares them to Moshe and Aaron. Nadav and Avihu, Hashem invited to Mount Sinai with Moshe, Aaron, Nadav and Avihu, and the Shivim Zekenim, before Matan Torah, before the 10 Commandments. They said that when Hashem says to Moshe, Bekrovai Kadesh, with my holy, I will sanctify the Mishkan, Moshe thought it was him and Aaron. But they were Nadav and Avihu. They came to do the tikkun of the wine, to try to fix what Adam fell. Adam, the Etz Hadat is wine. Back then, you take just one grape in Gan Eden. He was in Gan Eden. You take one grape, it's like drinking 10 bottles of wine. Chava gave him wine. The Zohar says if he waited until Kiddush for Shabbat, no problem. But he did the wine before Kiddush. And Nadav and Avihu, Nadav, Noach, Nun, Avihu, Adam, came to do the tikkun and failed. And it says that it says, Vayeshev Israel b'shitim vayachal ha'am liznot et bnot Moav. Vatikraena la'am lezivchei Elohim. They gave them wine, and then they start doing sacrifice. Unholy sacrifice. Vayochal ha'am vayishtachavu le'Elohim. They basically now, imagine you're about to go to the land of Israel. 24,000 of them do the most amazing sins possible. Avodah Zarah. Right? There's 3 things you have to die for. Everything else you should leave. If somebody comes to you on Shabbat, says, desecrate Shabbat. If not, I'll kill you, you're not allowed to die. Desecrate Shabbat. But 3 things you have to die. Avodah Zarah, idolatry, adultery, and murder. If somebody comes to you and says, Chaz v'chalila gal, can you murder him? Die for it. You're not allowed to murder. Lo tirtzach, right? It's part of the 10 Commandments. If somebody says, come, what they did to them here, it says, come, bow to our gods, you're not allowed. By the way, you're not allowed to go to a church. Just so you know, halacha. You can go to a mosque, but not a church. A church is avodah zarah. Okay? Very, very important. Don't ever go into churches. And the last thing, if somebody says to you, sleep with another man's wife or somebody that's not your wife, you have to die for it. You're not allowed to live. Everything else, you should live by it. Everything that was supposed to die for, they lived and did exactly the opposite. It says, Vayitzamed Israel leBaal Peor. They basically did the avodah, the worst. You know what's Baal Peor? Have you ever asked yourself, what is this, idolatry called Baal Peor? Baal Peor is a statue that you shit on. It's part of the avodah zarah of the goyim. You go to the bathroom on it. Peor, it's parua, right? It's open. It's an unbelievable avodah zarah. And the people of Israel fell for all that. ויאמר אדם משה, קח את כל ראשי העם והוקע אותם נגד השמש. Hashem says to Moshe, take the heads of the people of Israel. You know, the head of the people of Israel had a lot of problems through the desert. Many of us don't realize, but, for an example, if you look at the sin of the Meraglim, the sin of the so-called spies, who are they? They are the top rabbis of each tribe. Right. They are the rabbis, when you have the 12th sacrifice of Pesach, every day you read, Nachshon ben Aminadab. Those are the heads of Israel that went against Hashem and Moshe and Aaron and the promised land. 10 of them is the real actual president. That was the first so-called very, very bad politics move. they had Rabbi of Israel in the desert. They are powerful, they are rich, they have the man, they have the well of Miriam, they have the clouds of glory. Hashem says, let's go to the land of Israel within 11 days, after Matan Torah originally. And they say, no, we want to send spies. Hashem says, okay. It's a mitzvah to send spies, but for a king, not for the head rabbi of a tribe, only for a king. And Moshe joined them. Moshe was the king. 10 of them basically said, why would leave the desert? Because the moment you come to the land of Israel, you have to make yourself a king. So they said, we're going to lose our position. We'll become just rabbis. We'll not be powerful, no more authority. Just rabbis, we have to teach Torah. That's it, nothing else. We will not get everything that we get here. We'll not be powerful. We don't want to have our tribes. So they decided to go against that. Says, let's just stay here. That was the whole story of the spies. Meraglim in Hebrew is the whole parasha of Meraglim. Is one word, Mem Regalim. 40 years in a desert. Mem in Gematria is 40. Regalim, years. They basically did not want to leave the desert. They want to stay, not to go to the land of Israel. And here those, again, new set of heads of Rabbanim. Same thing with Korach. The 250 Nesi'im, it says among them there were 12 Nesi'im. That was the 12 tribes, heads of tribes. Go with Korach against Hashem, against Moshe, against Aaron. Those are the, what we call the dirty politician of the generations. And by the way, Hashem says, Hokea otam, take them out and kill them in front of the sun. So the Gemara says that Moshe Rabbeinu did not know who sinned and who didn't. Imagine a whole 3.6 million people. Some of them sinned with the women of Moab and Midianites. But out of them, there's the 12 tribes. The sun basically would point on each one, a Karen. It says there will be a light directly on each person that sins and the heads of the tribes. And Moshe knew to differentiate who sinned and who didn't. And of course, only then, Vayeshav Charon af Adonai Israel. And it says, kill all the people that actually did the Avodah Zarah with Baal Peor. So we know something amazing. It says here that the Kadosh Baruch Hu allow now instant punishment of Avodah Zarah. Because everything that's based on the Torah, Hashem has a rule called measure for measure. Midah keneged midah. Right? Whatever you do here is up there. And whatever you do will come. You heard of the yin and the yang and karma. This is all Hebrew. Karma is mikre, Hashem kara. You do good, you get good. You do bad, you get bad. Huh?
Abracadabra.
Abracadabra. You know what abracadabra means? Avraham kedibra. Avraham knew magic. Avra kedibra. Avraham, the talks of Avraham. When he sent the other children, after he had with Petura and he left only Yitzchak in Israel, it says that Avraham gave them magic. Abracadabra. It's Avraham kedivara. By the way, everything you see in movies today is Hollywood, Schmallywood. It's all from the Torah, from the Gemara, everything.
A lot of it is, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them. Some of the most successful movies are because they went into the Gemara, to the Zohar, to the Kabbalah, to the Matrix.
First one.
It's all about, the Matrix is Gilgul Neshamot. What's what they call the main character?
The condenser.
Huh?
Neo.
Neo is one, right? Hashem is one. And he
It was
basically ran.
Nebuchadnezzar was,
And then all the other names is all from the Kabbalah, But in a sense, it's all numerical codes, because the Torah is all numerical codes. Every letter is a code. And if you look at everything that we do in the Torah, and Hashem says measure for measure. They went with the Avodah Zarah, they have to die for Avodah Zarah. Right? Because you're supposed to die if somebody asks you to do Avodah Zarah, Chaz v'Chalila. And we know 24,000 of them died.
But that was from the tribe of Shimon.
Exactly. So now, beautiful.
24,000, that was the same of students that died.
Yes, exactly. So just so you know, this is amazing. Because when Dinah was raped, remember the story with Shem ben Hamor? Shem, the son of a donkey. By the way, the Hamor is the same reincarnation. This donkey, by the way, was from the donkey of Abraham all the way
To Shrek.
Shrek. All the way to the donkey of Rabbi Yair ben Pinchas, the tshuva. And then Vashti was a reincarnation of the donkey. Vashti?
Vashti from the Pearl.
Yes. Yes,
I knew she looked like a donkey.
Yes. You know, why did Hashem put a tail? If you remember when her husband said to her, come out naked, she had no problem with that. All of a sudden there's a tail on her. It's the donkey. Remember that? Yes. Yeah. But here Hashem, like you mentioned, 24,000. So when when Dinah was raped, you know, Dinah, the Zohar Kadosh speaks so much about her, and it's, of course in Shara Gilgulim, in the Arizal, the reincarnation, Dinah was actually the reincarnation of the mother of Abraham, Amtalia bat Karnavu. The mother of Abraham had Abraham in Nida. She got pregnant during her Nida. You know, Nida is not pure time. Nida is the otiot Dinah.
Yom Tov.
Yom Tov Atzlach Hamotek. Nida is the word Dinah, same letter, right? Rearrange the letter of Nida is Dinah. Dinah came basically to do the fix for the mother of Abraham, Amtalia bat Karnavu. But we have a segulot in the Torah. The Zohar says in the Kabbalah, if you ever have a problem, say the name of the mother of Abraham 17 times and you'll be saved. It happened to me. Once I was pulled over by a police officer. I was rushing to a shiur, and he pulled me over. And as he pulled me, I said 17 times, Amtalia bat Karnavu, Amtalia bat Karnavu. He got to me. I said to him, you know, I'm a rabbi, I have a class. He said, go. That never happened to me before. You know, this is a segula. So Dinah came to fix the impurity of Abraham, mother. And from her, you know, came a daughter, Osnat. Right? Osnat will be the wife of Yosef.
Oh, Yosef.
So basically the whole action, now what happened? Come Shimon and Levi. Shimon, Baruch Hashem, we have a Shimon, was 13 years old. Levi was 12. The two kids come by themselves. They don't know about each other. The Zohar says that originally they all ish becharbo, right? They went alone, not two of them. They only met each other at the battlefield. They killed 24,000 Arabs, the whole city, men of Shechem. Right? They tricked them, says, do Brit Milah, if you want to be with us, you know. You know, Jews always negotiate. You know why we got that? Why do we negotiate always? In every level of paying something or building something or this. Avraham Avinu, when Hashem says to him, I'm going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, what Avraham says, how about 50 if I find 50? Hashem says, okay, I won't find. You know, yeah, 5 cities, 10 in each. Even if it's not Jewish, it's a goyim. He goes, doesn't find 50. He says, how about 45? How about 40? How about 30? How about, 20? All the way to 10. And never 10, not even one except, Lot, that was his nephew and his family. So here, come and they say, listen, you want to be with us? Fine, do Brit Milah. Of course, Shechem was so in love. His father is a donkey, Hamor, stupid. They say, yeah, let's do it. All the men do. On the third day, they come and kill 24,000 of them. The Zohar says that after the killing Yaakov, as we know, mentioned the Torah, was very upset. He was feared. He was fearful. We just came here, what have you done? There's 7 nations around us. We have no military, just us. There's like, literally 60, 70 people, not even, And he was very, very afraid. But the act of these 2 kids was so powerful that the entire 7 nations were terrified of Israel. Terrified. They will never, that's what happened to us in October 7. If we retaliated like Shimon and Levi, we'll be done in 1 week. We'll get all hostages back, everything. David HaMelech, same thing happened to him. Right? When he went, they came, they kidnapped, they raped, he went in, killed everybody, brought everybody back. In 1 day. By the way, Dinah and Rachel died because of the vow of Yaakov. Yaakov, when he was in Hara Moriah, when he promised in the latter prophecy, Sulam Yaakov, he said, Aser Asrenu Lach, I'll give you 20%, Hashem. And he came to the land of Israel after 36 years, forgot to do any Maaser. For the first Maaser, Meta Alai Rachel. Rachel died. He says, because of me, Rachel died. And for the second one, Dinah was raped. But there's even a deeper explanation. Yaakov Avinu was saying, Aser Asrenu Lach. 10 and 10, how much is it? 20. Yaakov guaranteed, he says, 20% of my children will be religious for eternity until Mashiach. If you go in America, there's 20% religious. You go in Israel, there's 20% religious. You go in Europe, there's 20%. In Westlake Village, there's 20% religious. Everywhere you go, there'll be 20% Jews, 100% keep Shabbat, 100% do everything. 1,000 Oaks, 20%. He's a lawyer, he's negotiating. So in a sense, they killed 24,000. The Gemara says that Levi, after he heard his father upset, he said to Shimon, promise me you will never do this again. Because Shimon was very crazy, powerful. Shimon was, some say it was more powerful than Yehuda. Shimon, when Yosef, as you know, he took the first hostage. When the 10 tribes that sold him and came down to Egypt, right? The 10 of them came back. And he says, okay, I'll give you for everything. But then he tricks them and he takes Shimon as a hostage. Right? Yosef took Shimon as a hostage. They said that his son Ephraim pushed him into the jail, And Shimon says, this is powerful. This is not power of an Egyptian. Because Shimon was so powerful. Ephraim pushed him so hard. They said, there's something wrong here. But why they took Shimon first? Why Yosef took Shimon? To separate him from Levi. Because the two of them can take entire Egypt. Yosef already knew that. And of course, he put him as a measure of measure. Why? Because Shimon was the one to push Yosef into the hole. When Yosef was thrown into the pit, was Shimon pushing him. So measure for measure, he pushed him into the whole of Egypt. But Levi and Shimon did an agreement not to do this again. And actually Shimon was not good. He did it again. He went here against Hashem, the tribe of Shimon. And we'll see in Parashat Pinchas, he went against Moshe, bringing the princess to do Chaz v'chalila, a moral act in front of the people of Israel, in front of Hashem in Oel Moed. And 24,000 died. And then, like Mr. Mark mentioned, 24,000, the student of Rabbi Akiva. It's all the same neshamot. It's the Gilgulim. From Shechem, through Shimon, and through Rabbi Akiva. Who is Shimon? They say that Rabbi Akiva is a Gilgul of Shechem ben Hamon. Yes. Reincarnation. And Dinah, his wife, is Rachel, his wife. And they say, why Rabbi Akiva? And we'll finish with that. Remember, when they arrested him for learning Torah, they arrested him on Aleph Be'elul for 40 days and killed him on Yom Kippur, right? The Romans. And how they killed, remember how he was killed?
Yeah.
With
the Torah,
comb, no, that's somebody else. With the comb, combing his hair and his body of metal comb. You know why? They say he became as a reincarnation of Zimri ben Salu. He was the president of Shimon. And Shimon grabbed the princess, Kozbi, Batsur, in her metal brush that she had in her hand and hurt her. It says in the Torah that he pulled her in her hair. And he would die in the same comb. So Be'ezat Hashem, we have to understand, the people of Israel are holy people, the chosen people. A daughter of Israel is the daughter of Hashem, Bat Hashem. You know what happened to us in October 7? I don't know if you know, but it was almost like the golden calf of Israel. Nova, it was 3,600 Jewish couples, women, that go and do Avodah Zarah on Simchat Torah, do drugs, have the same incident here like the SHITIM in Nova. On Shabbat, on Simchat Torah. 24,000 died because of that. Here, we know today, only 10% died. All of them should be dead. According to the condition, there were soldiers of Hamas, terrorists, are surrounding all of them, dressed up as the Israeli military, and speaking Hebrew and calling them and shooting them, or raping and burning everything. And on the other side, all the terrorists dressed like Israeli police, calling them. So technically, all should be dead, really. They had 8 hours to do whatever they want. These terrorists, they said. And even today, now you see what's happening after the truth coming out. 8.5 hours, nobody came to help. Yet, only 10% died. We are at the mercy of Hashem. And Hashem hates more than anything zima. Zima is one of the most atrocity of sexual misconduct. In that party, and I know many people because I work with few government offices, there were so many Jewish women with couples that would stray with goyim, with goyot, open field. There was one, if you saw the statue of Buddha there, right? You saw it. There was a bar of mushroom, a bars of coke, a bars of ecstasy, a bar of like crazy stuff on Simchat Torah, on Shabbat. We ask Hashem why. That's not the right question to ask. It always says, what for? What do we need to learn from something that happened? Today, we're in a very, very terrible times in Israel, in the world. You see what happened. They tried to kill a president. It's unbelievable. Like, we're such a very dark times. And Hashem keep dripping and give us signs to come back, to make tshuva, to do everything we can, because only by tshuva Mashiach comes. That's what the Zohar says. But it's due to come any moment now. And the Zohar and the Kabbalah said that this year, this between now, Tafshin Pei Dalet, Tafshin Pei Hey, Mashiach will be revealed. And the third and final Bet HaMikdash will come in Tafshin Pei Vav, in 2 years, from the heavens ready. So wherever you may go, whatever friends you talk to yourself, encourage yourself to do better every day. Be'ezat Hashem. Thank you so much. Again, Le'ilu Nishmat Gabriel Baruchu, 40 years, the father of Baruch Chai ben Chaya Miriam, Haskara, and also Refuah Shlema to all the sick people, to our soldiers, and Hashem will bring back the hostages. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you. That was something.